pattern, guys. So I want to go and show you right here. This is knit and purl stitching. The heart is used purl stitching right there, and I will provide a picture if you're interested in wanting to know how to do that. Now, you can use any yarn, but I'm going to be teaching with faux fur. But this is regular size 7 chunky chenille yarn. I just wanted to give you the look of it because with each different yarn type and brand, it can look a little bit different with your surface crochet. So we're going to be using faux fur. This is loops and threads. It is considered size 6 super bulky. So just like the flowers, guys, find your stitch and insert it. Insert it just like a stitch, a loop. Now, as you see me doing, just as we did the flowers, you're visualizing, you're drawing a heart. So I'm going to be working like kind of upwards. And just as we did the flowers, we're going to be curling this yarn right around usually the top edge of the blanket stitch to effectively cover the blanket color. So you see, it's just like any size 7 chunky yarn. Faux fur is no different. It's considered size 6 super bulky, which is very possible to hand knit with. It's just a little bit more smaller loops you need to make, which you can pull on your working yarn to shrink down your loop sizing or just completely undo your work. But remember, take your fingertip, trace it out, help give yourself the visualization right here. Just as we did the flowers, exact same method as I told you. Key is pulling the direction of the yarn that you want it to flow in, to curve in. That is what does the surface crocheting, does the designing of a flower, flower petals, a heart, a butterfly. So remember to be your own judge, and either you're gonna curl your working yarn around the top edge of the blanket stitch or simply tuck it in underneath through and make the stitch. Test it out, see if it's covering the blanket color effectively. But as you notice, I'm mostly curling it around an edge, curling it around the top edge. And that's what it is, guys. The same method right here. Faux fur goes very beautiful with chunky chenille regular size 7 yarn. I think often people do use it to do the borders on their chunky blankets. It adds such a beautiful characteristic. It matches really nicely. So I figured to go ahead and show you guys, rather than size 7 chunky chenille, which I had a beautiful sparkle one, I want to go ahead and just show it with the faux fur. So remember, take your fingertip, trace the outline, give yourself the visualization of how far should I come down for the heart. Just as you see me doing. This is very much a skill, guys. You are truly drawing. You're truly drawing, and on top of that, you are drawing with yarn, with all pure imagining, mentally visualizing. So give yourself credit that you can do this right here. I had to record this and keep it under the camera, but I recommend turn your blanket around to help you create your perfect heart shape. This was a little bit hard right here because I wanted to turn my whole body and get right on the edge of it as I outline an even right side to the left. And again, I'm going to take my finger and just help me measure it up. Am I coming up even, same height as the left side? And so again, practice, guys. Maybe practice on a small square you can knit, because that's what it really is. It's truly practice. You are truly learning how to draw without really having a solid outline, and you're learning to draw with yarn. So as you see me doing, I'm working down now. Do you see how I'm taking my working yarn and I tucked it in from the side? I didn't really curl it around. The faux fur is perfectly covering any pink. So really be the judge, and even just simply just test it out. If it doesn't cover, undo your work, pull on the working yarn, and that's it. So go ahead and keep watching as I'm going to be coming up to where I started, and I'm going to show you how I cast it off. So I feel like this is a good point. I feel like I'm coming right up on it. So now, as you see me doing, right where I inserted my first stitch, I'm going to take my working yarn, curling it, the very first stitch on the blanket that I began with, curling it around. A little bit challenging for me right here. So if it is, don't think you're doing anything wrong. And I cut about a short tail, guys. And I'm taking that first tail and I pushed it right through the last stitch I made. And then I'm simply tying both tails together. I'm doing 2 knots. Now this is faux fur, guys. It is just like the teddy bear variation yarn, the fluffy chenille. It hides it very well. So I did 2 knots, and I'm taking 1 tail and simply just inserting it into any part. At this point, I'm just trying to secure everything, lock down everything. If you're using regular chunky chenille yarn, simply lock it in as you saw when I first started, and then pull both ends out underneath the blanket, then knot it. As you see, I'm weaving 1 tail, just trying to secure it, lock it down. I'm doing another knot. This is my 3rd knot. So if it wasn't for this fuzzy, fluffy faux fur, That's my 4th knot, guys. You would very much see these knots. But right here, I'm showing you, I'm going to be cutting it right there. And I will be applying either sewing, but sewing's kind of hard. So I don't know if I want to take on that challenge. But putting a little bit of glue, a little bit of hot glue, just very minimum. But that's it, guys. Very simple. With practice, you will become proficient. This is a skill right here, I think. But look how beautiful it is. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful loops and threads, guys. Faux fur. Highly recommend it. Any kind of faux fur. Hope this was helpful and you guys enjoyed it.